bag. Welcome to Wednesday's episode. And Josh is still with us.
Hello.
How you doing, Josh?
Good.
Are we having fun yet?
I'm a little chilly in the studio.
Well, you have your fast fashion.
I think I might put it on in a sec. But yeah, thank you for having me.
No, thanks for being here. As you can tell, I'm clearly a morning person. No. So for our listeners, I think you all got a glimpse into what I looked like last week when I was half asleep, and Maddie is now on a kick that she wants to record exclusively when I'm tired and not rested, so that I'm crankier, because when I'm crankier, I'm bitchier, and therefore I make comments like I saw Kourtney Kardashian's clitoris and she would go up in flames if she walked into a church in that dress. So
I mean, can anyone blame me? Like, I think everyone enjoys cranky Alina a lot more.
well, I'm just struggling a little bit. Maddie was like, "Are you sure you want a quad shot latte?" And I was like, "Yes, you made me get up on a Saturday. This is the best I could do. This hair, I had to put 7 pounds of makeup on to make myself look relatively alive. I tried to overline my lips like Hailey Bieber does. It didn't work very well.
This morning, I almost walked out looking like Julia fucking Fox with my eyeliner. I was like, what is happening right now? I was like, do you have a sharpener? I got to get the tip to a certain like length or whatever, because it literally looked like Julia Fox.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was just like Crayola kind of on her eye. But it's exhausting. I'm really jealous that, look at it, Josh rolls up. He's in like his comfortable attire. Slow fashion. Ish.
We're
not going to tell
for like
anyone.
the Jesus look a little bit.
Jesus look.
I think that's what's in right now, just natural colors.
Natural, organic materials
and
that are
like
breathable.
Breathy, yeah, I'd imagine.
Yes.
Add any foundation on? Any primer?
No,
any lipstick? Anything? Any sort of,
Yeah, like what the fuck? Guys literally roll out of
Zhuzhing up.
bed. They put on like an outfit, maybe brush their teeth and wash their face. Like, look, I saw this meme that was like, me after my 24-step Korean skincare routine, and it's like blemishes and breakouts and shit like that. But then it's like, and then my boyfriend after washing his hair with his 7-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, moisturizer, shaving cream, body wash, aftershave. What's the 7th? I don't know. But regardless. And I'm just like, it's not fair.
or like when they wash their face with a bar of soap and they have like clear fucking skin.
That's disgusting. That I would never. No. Well, there's a spectrum for guys as well in terms of things. There are men that are not going to be putting everything on. They don't have 50 different ways of cleaning their faces, but it's actually just different that we have to do. The things that we also have to do that you guys maybe would not be as aware of.
Shave your face. You do have to shave your face. You have to get haircuts
But
more
women
regularly.
have to also. There are women who are also exceptionally hairy that like do actually have to, shave their face too, or like like those little razors where they have to
Dermaplaning.
Dermaplaning.
Yes, I started
Dermaplaning.
doing that. It's too much work.
There, you know what? Just like there's that spectrum, and I feel bad about that stuff that women have to. There probably is. I don't want to be seen as the guy that's saying, screw that. But anyway, I think for women, some of y'all have to do way more than guys do. But also, it's not always just, okay, I got to shave, I got to get a haircut every 3 months or whatever, and just use all the same shampoo for everything on my body. There's actually more nuanced things in there. And of course, we don't have to do that. But a lot of these decisions, I think, come from, am I appealing, right? Like there is like a nature of like, okay, am I, what's the word?
Attractive?
Oh, not even, am I an okay mate? Like, am I mateable?
Am I mateable?
Does she want to fuck me?
Yes.
Or does he or do they want to fuck me?
Am I fuckable?
Am I fuckable? We can say.
Am I fuckable? Yeah. And I have this theory, maybe I'm totally wrong. If women didn't exist on this planet, we would be fucking disgusting.
I mean, most men are already disgusting.
No, it'd be worse. You know what? I might not even have a job like I do. I might just be like, take whatever's available, do what's only necessary. Men wouldn't care about the type of car they drive. We wouldn't dress nicely.
So you're saying like pride and ego is a big factor into like the maintenance and like well-being of the male in front of us.
Absolutely, yes.
That's
interesting.
There is that, because women are the proxy. Do you know what I mean? Like they're like the
Yeah.
the staple in which where we make our decisions around. Or
I kind of love this. I know, I kind of love it because I don't think I thought about it from that perspective before.
I might be wrong though.
We've talked about this before on the show. Like when it comes to like what men look for with women and then what women look for, women aren't necessarily focused on looks. Men are visual creatures. Like it's kind of been proven that like men's preference, typically the first barrier is the visual, right?
Yeah.
For women though, because biologically we have been, I don't want to say conditioned, but to a degree conditioned since the dawn of time, since the dawn of humans walking the earth, is, we have to look at several factors. A, can he provide safety? B, what are the genetics that will allow my child to be able to survive in this world? C, like with the safety, will he be able to provide and nurture and take care of, right? And so that's probably what it is. It's like part of the getting the car. You need to prove that you have a certain level of wealth so that you can be seen as an attractive partner.
Or
Oh, well,
fun.
Mark, we need to talk
Exactly.
about that car situation if that's the case.
Oh no, I don't think so. Mark,
I
I
don't.
think has the right priorities. To be honest, very healthy priorities. I think this is what we're talking about is just very. Oh, by the way, there's this wonderful episode on Radio Lab. Am I allowed to talk about Radio Lab? That's another podcast.
Yes, you can. Well, I'm glad you listen to podcasts because we know you don't listen to ours.
I do. But there's an episode about evolution, and for the longest time we talked about it from as the staple in evolutionary theory is that it's survival of the fittest. But a lot of scientists are switching that theory over to a new belief that it's survival of the most beautiful.
Most beautiful. To a degree, I can understand that.
So if you look at a lot of mating rituals or survive, because that's how a species survives, right? Through mating and offspring. Beauty is a huge factor in there.
Well, do you think, though, it's because we've shifted away from safety because we don't have to prioritize, like, safety in that regard, right? Like, I don't need someone who's a fast runner anymore because we're not running away from predators because we live in cities. And so the priority now is beauty, right? And so that's what we're gearing ourselves towards.
So actually, what they're saying is that it was never about the fittest.
Interesting.
That it was always about beauty. Interesting enough.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So I was just going to say, my head immediately went to, because, Instagram and influencing and TikToking is now a form of income for most. That's literally where my head went.
Yeah.
And beauty can mean a lot of things too, right? It could be some species, they have songs, mating songs. So there's beauty, audible beauty. There's.
So then what is beauty? How are they defining then beauty for
I
humans?
guess it has to do with aesthetic.
So like the golden ratio, right? Like having symmetry within the face.
I
Is that the kind
mean,
of level that they're going for?
I don't think so. I don't think they're going that far, but you can say, because that's trying to quantify something that's like very hard to quantify. So they didn't go that deep into it, but
like if you think about it, we are attracted in a lot of our architecture. If you look at like olden times, like Grecian and whatnot, like it typically follows the golden ratio. So it's something that's ingrained really in our brains,
It
weirdly
could be.
enough.
That's actually very interesting. So, so my background's in illustration and art before I became a designer.
Yeah.
There is like an element of that we're like viscerally attracted to certain things. I mean, there's nuances too, of course.
Of course.
But genetically, so those are things that we can't really change that well. I know nowadays we have like plastic surgery and stuff like that, but
I was going to say, you live in LA, you know that you can change.
you can change a lot now, but
You can change what your vagina looks like now.
That's true.
what does that mean?
Literally, you can get treatments. People will do like fillers and shit in their vaginas to make them plumper or even.
Plump vagina.
I am
Inside
telling you,
or on the lip?
labia on the lip.
Yeah.
I'm done. Goodbye, everyone.
The way
Peace
you said
out.
that made me laugh so hard. But no, seriously, like, okay, sorry, but to go back to it. But I do feel like at least, being here, I get fillers, I get Botox, a little bit of filler here and there.
A
My lip.
syringe?
No, not in my
Down there.
vagina.
Oh, I'm still stuck on that. I didn't know that was a
stuck
thing.
on the vagina thing.
No, not in my vagina. No, but I get lip fillers. These puppies aren't real. But I feel like we are chasing, right? Like whatever that standard is too.
Yeah.
So, okay, wait, but sorry. Let's go back to if women didn't exist, men would be stinky. They would be smelly,
Okay,
disasters.
let me ask you a question.
Okay.
What is your regimen, current routine, and what would it be if, Jackie didn't exist and women didn't exist in the world?
Okay, so for one, I think all the general stuff, like washing myself. I shower and wash myself because
The base level.
It makes me feel good. I like feeling clean.
I'm glad about that. Yes.
Yeah. So I think most
How
men
many
would agree.
times do you shower, like in a week?
It depends on what season it is. It's usually
I was going to say a day, but then I was like, wait, let me rephrase that.
because it's once a day.
Okay.
Is the baseline.
Okay.
But in the summertime, I get really sweaty and gross, and sometimes I'll go a little further. I will say we live in Los Angeles, and people might frown upon that, being like, "You're wasting water." But I did install water pressure filters, so
Nice. There
not
are also
wasting water.
some celebrities and people out there who think that it's terrible to wash your body like
Are we talking about
every
Mila
day.
Kunis and Ashton Kutcher?
Well, them, and then there's also other people. What was her name? The girl from Glee who unfortunately passed.
Nair Rivera.
Yes, so she didn't shower every day either. Apparently, there are dermatologists who say that it's actually bad for the skin and like dries
Probably
the skin
dry
out.
skin. Yeah, they're probably right.
we have
I don't
moisturizers.
judge those people. I just like feeling clean, and I don't like the griminess. And it's a weird thing right now, and it's because I gained weight. My inner elbow gets sticky as fuck during the summertime, and I don't know why.
The inner elbow stickiness.
I don't know if anybody else gets that.
I'm
but
gonna buy you a bunch of like sweatbands so that you can just like put
it
them
my
on your
elbow.
inner
It's
elbows.
so nasty.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
So
showering,
shower
good
once a day.
sign. We're showering.
Yeah, we're showering.
Do you have a separate shampoo, conditioner, and body wash?
I have a very specific shampoo and conditioner because it helps with my hair loss.
Okay.
But no women around. I might not give a shit about that. So that's nixed out of there.
Okay.
That's probably out of there.
Okay.
I don't wash my hair every day, though, in the shower
Good job.
because of the chemicals.
Yeah.
I will always do the George Carlin shower, though. Are you familiar with this?
No, what's
no,
that?
what is
I
that?
call it the George Carlin shower because there was a bit that he talks about that men really only need to wash key areas. It's the armpits.
The inner elbows.
Well, no. The crotch and the feet. Those are the key areas that need to. Oh, and the butthole, the butt crack. So that's like those are the key areas. Everywhere else is just in between.
The core areas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you don't wash behind your ears.
I do. I actually do my neck and my ears a lot because I don't like the oil getting on my pillow at night. So
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. So we're still baseline.
this is baseline.
Okay. So then what about like after shower routine? Like serums, moisturizer? Like what are we looking at here?
So I use for my face. I use a kind of two parts to it. One is the exfoliation,
Okay.
and then I use a cleanser
Okay.
to go in those pores and clean it out. I don't use my towel. I have once a use paper towels, face towels that I use for that. And
Paper
toss them.
towels.
They're not paper towels. They're like a
Hand
one-time use
cloths.
hand cloth for the face.
Wait, one-time use?
Yeah. So you use it and then you toss it.
Okay. We're not getting into this.
We're not
right
getting
now.
into the eco
We're not getting
Yeah.
into it.
disaster
Oh
situation.
no, they're absolutely bio friendly.
Biodegradable.
Yeah, biodegradable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
And then I also do a toner on the face.
Okay.
So it
I'm
livens
very
up.
impressed with this.
Yeah, I'm
routine.
actually very impressed with your
Asian
routine.
need to.
Oh, so he's Korean, so
Yeah, we
this
know.
is ingrained in him.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then I don't really put any lotion on the face because I
Interesting.
don't like the greasy feeling all that much. I will sometimes when it's like really dry.
Do you do sunscreen?
I do not, and I totally should. Yeah.
Interesting.
Sunscreen every day.
Okay, so then if Jackie weren't around or all women were gone in this world, would that routine still stay as is or would it all go out the window?
I don't think so. I think maybe now that I know that I feel good, not having an oily nose, maybe I still would, but I don't think I would have ever started if it hadn't, I'd just be gross, guys. I would not shave. I would not, I might not brush my teeth some days. Yeah. I would,
Oh my God.
Okay,
and
so
I'm
no
like,
brushing of the teeth, no shaving, not even like male maintenance.
I mean, I would brush my teeth, not as much as I do now. I mean, like I have Invisalign, so I'm like brushing and flossing like 4 times a day.
Oh wow, okay.
So you have to. But I might not even do that much.
Would you have gotten Invisalign to begin with?
Probably not.
Okay.
And then there's also the body grooming. So
The
something
manscaping.
the manscaping,
Okay.
Nice.
which is a lot.
So
It is
are you
probably the
hairy?
most-
Are you hairy? Like
So-
body hair? Like what's the
So
situation?
I've met Pierre and I've seen him at the pool. I'm not a Pierre level hairiness.
Wait, what do you mean? Is Pierre hairy? I feel
He's got a hairy chest.
He's got like a hairy chest, but then he like grooms
Yeah.
it where he like
Yeah.
clips it so it's a certain
Does
length.
Pierre listen to this, by the way?
Sometimes, yes.
Oh, God damn it.
No. Be as open as possible. Like
I did have to say this yesterday. I said hi to Pierre, and there was some dog hair on his chest, and
She
so I
groped my
literally went,
husband.
"Oh, hi," and then I was like, "I'm so sorry. That was very, that's very not okay of me." And I don't even
Well, how
think
did
he
he respond?
noticed.
Oh,
I don't think he just hugged me. I don't even think he
Yeah,
noticed
Pierre
it.
was like, whatever.
But I literally was like, "Oh, hi," and then I was like.
I've had lots of people grope my husband, and it's totally fine.
I know, but I was like, was that like something I was secretly wanting to
wanted
do
to.
for like 10 years that I just decided to be like, oh, there's dog hair. Let me pretend that I was doing that. Anyway, okay, sorry.
Mark, you got to
All right.
get worried.
Okay.
A little bit worried, man.
So I think Mark has done that on a regular basis to Pierre. Okay. Anyway, okay, so you're not like Pierre.
So I'm not like Pierre, but like, and this is something that I've gone deep into Reddit looking for answers and Quora and talked to my family. There was one point where my brother, myself, and my dad, I was like, all right, everybody strip, take your shirts off. Because I would complain to them. I'm like, why do I have so much freaking hair for a Korean man?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Mom, did Grandpa or your brother have like no, everyone's bare, and they take their shirts off, and it's like super. First of all, they have like porcelain skin,
Nice.
like
Because they wear sunblock.
yeah, or I don't know, they need more sun. I don't know what it is, but
You live in LA.
It's bare, completely bare.
Really?
And I'm like, have you ever had to pluck like one like a nipple hair ever? And they're like, no, never. Like that's. And then they're like, you keep complaining. Let's see it. So I take my shirt. And they're like, what is going on there? And I'm like, oh, this is
I got the
nothing.
monster gene.
Yeah, this isn't it. When I go in the pool, I have had people tell me, and it's better now because I take care of myself. They're like, your leg hairs, bro, look like seaweed in the water. Like it's disgusting. So
Wait, do you shave your legs?
I've shaved it once completely, and then let it grow back kind of more naturally. But it's been getting better as I get older, which is weird. But it used to be really bad.
Like it was like, was it furry? Was it long? Was it curly?
Long.
Was
it was
thick?
long. Like you can go in there and like do one of these with your finger and like create little braids with your like it was nasty. But it's much better. It's much
Nasty?
it's-
I
no.
like
Okay.
that.
Okay, so
Yeah, so-
you're, we'll say, a little hairier than most Korean men.
Yes, and I will tell you nothing on Reddit or Quora or Yahoo Answers on this. It's like, why am I Asian and hairy? It doesn't make any sense. And so
You need to go on the dark web for your answers, it sounds like.
I hope anybody listening is like, oh, I can relate to you, that this is what's happening. And someone threw out one theory like, okay, it's the food and the fluoride in U.S. water. I'm like, also, my brother grew up here too, so why is
Yeah.
he hairy? Like,
Yeah.
so who knows? Maybe he has a better diet than me. Anyway, so that doesn't stop at just the body hair. There's also other areas
Yeah.
that I suffer from over hairiness.
Okay.
So we talking junk hair.
Yeah, my junk hair. My junk hair is unruly. It's absurd. And I would imagine there has to be other people that deal with this. And usually that there is a clear divide between like your ball hair,
Yeah.
your pee-pee hair,
Yeah.
your shaft hair, if you will, and then like the surrounding areas.
The
Yeah.
like treasure trail
Yeah.
and the
what do you call it? Treasure
trail
Yeah.
from your belly button down.
We
treasure
we
trail,
called
that's
it
cool.
a happy trail.
Yeah, happy trail.
trail.
Happy
Yeah, the
trail.
happy
Same,
trail.
same.
Yeah.
And then just the
Just around it.
pelvis.
Yeah, the pelvic area,
Pubic.
the V, the upper
Yeah.
pelvic area.
Okay.
And then like
The fupa.
the grunt, the fupa and the grundle, the underneath.
Oh, that's hairy too. I guess
what
that would be
underneath?
between the balls and the
underneath the
asshole.
ball?
Yeah, that's
okay.
the grunt. Oh, I don't know. Everybody calls it something different, but
Why do we talk so much about assholes? Anyway, okay.
because they're
We
funny.
have an obsession, clearly.
Okay.
I love assholes. And then of course then that extends over to the bunghole crack hair as well too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I've never groomed in my life, but I know
I
it's
feel
it's
like
a mess.
as women, I mean, I can talk about my experience with Brazilian. Like, it's full everything, and then they have you turn over, and they get the asshole too.
Oh yeah, that's
women.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So like
See,
that's
he
our level of
stands up.
grooming. Yeah.
Not stand, but
Yeah.
okay. So what is the preferred method for this?
Okay, so here's the thing. There's like companies now that are focusing on the grooming of the male area and genitalia, and it's like new. It's like we finally discovered it after fucking eons, and so there are people talking about it, but it's not easily accessible to find men that are just like openly talking about this stuff. I think we brought it up at a party a couple of months ago because it actually started from that Secret Santa thing that we did in the holidays, and Mark put in the Secret Santa a cock ring, which I got at the end, and he's like, "Have you used it?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Do you know how it works?" He's like, "Yeah, you just put it at the shaft at the bottom." I'm like, "Yeah, I need every inch I can get, so I can't. I'm not going to use that sucker." Like,
Wait, but doesn't that help make it like swell? So it makes it
yeah,
sorry,
a little bigger.
but like, it's a huge cock. Like, it's very thick, and I'm
Yeah.
like, this like takes away an inch from you, and like, I can't afford that, so I'm not going to use it. But it made me think about, okay, this is actually, it covers an area in which my hair, there's like a gradient from the base of the shaft that kind of goes a little far up where there's actually a lot of hair. And for the longest time, women I was sleeping with, they wouldn't tell me that it was painful when I went that deep, right? Like, so I didn't know this was a problem.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, so you literally were having sex with these women, and this thing was like poking them or hurting them, and nobody vocalized.
Wait, hold on. I need a visual. So
I need a visual.
Yeah.
no, I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
Like, how could it hurt that bad? So this is.
Do you want me to whip it out? Like,
So is the hair just like pointy? Is
It's not pointing-
is it
it's not
straight
pointing up.
this way?
it's actually, I don't know.
Give me angles.
I think they're just out, like, you know, they're kind of all in different directions, as most pubic hair is.
Yeah.
And
I don't have pubic hair. I
and
did
so
laser like 20 years ago.
If this was an erect pee-pee, I would say like maybe like a quarter in,
Here.
you have this gradient
Yeah.
all the way up to there.
Wow.
And so when you're wearing a rubber, obviously you can't feel it, so it's much it's
Yeah.
not as painful. But when you're bare, it can be really painful. And nobody said this. Like, they're like, but we would get
so
to a
crazy.
point where it's like, oh, I don't know what's wrong with me. I think they always say, oh, it's me. I don't know what's going on. And I was like, what the hell's happening?
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of got the clues myself.
That's very self-aware. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's self-awareness. I think it was more of a complex I was acquiring, just being like, what's going on? Like, this is not pleasing to them. You just pick up the signs, right? Like,
Yeah.
and so
Some men don't care, by the way, just FYI. So the
Most
fact that
men, I
you
don't
are
think
like
care.
aware of
I think
that
it's
they're not-
self-aware.
it's not enjoyable.
I don't want to virtue signal here at all, but I do think that most men, if they did find out, they'd be like, I have to fix this immediately, because it's part of my ego to be like a woman enjoying herself, right? So
Yeah.
I think most men would actually kind of feel that way. to be honest.
Okay, so you realized my dick is spiky.
I've got a barbed penis.
I got a cat penis.
I got a cat dick.
penis.
I got a cat dick. Got to do something about this. Okay, so what was your like next plan of action?
So now I was like, okay, I need to fix this. So I'm like, first thing a guy does is when it has to do with your complex is look for other people who are going through the same thing.
Interesting.
Who's going through this? So I brought it to my friends. This is the first group that you usually talk to, and they looked at me like I was a fucking maniac.
I can imagine.
Like,
I'm
what
sorry.
the fuck are you talking? You got hair on your dick?
You
Like,
should come to us. I feel like we're so welcoming. We're like, so what are we going to do? We're going to
So what
wax,
do
we're
I
going to
do?
laser,
Is there-
we're going to do electrolysis.
Right,
Do you want to
right.
shave it? Do you want to trim it, then shave it? Do you want to buzz it? Like, oh my God, I would have come.
exactly.
I wish you would come to me
and
with
then
this.
you go online, see if anybody's dealing with it. You find some things in there, but there's no answers. So there are people out there that are going through this, and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, it sucks, but you learn to live with it. I'm like, I'm not learning to. I want to
Fix the
fix
problem.
this shit,
Yeah,
right? I don't want to learn to live with it. And so the first thing you go out then is like you go on Amazon, you buy every fucking different type of product that you can find. to take care of this. Because the first thing is like, okay, I'm just going to shave it off. That's what I do with my face, right? So you found a shaver, and then you realize that is not viable.
Interesting. Why?
Because it's your.
He cut his dick with the shaver.
I cut my dick a couple of times with the shaver.
Got it.
Right?
So you weren't careful.
I'm very in tune with this, by the way.
Think about your any area that is like kind of looser, right, and loose skin, and it's amorphous shape, right? Like
so we're
your
talking
face
about...
has planes on it, so like you can go and cleanly,
Yeah.
and you're trying to use different shavers. This does not work. When people say I'm going to shave my balls, I don't know what that means, right? You can't shave your balls. Because it has to be a flat surface.
I now want to watch Pierre going through this because Pierre has like every 2 weeks, like clockwork, he has his like manscaping session.
Oh yeah, you have to. Yeah.
I kid you not, every time I'm like, can I watch? He's like, no. I was like, I want to know what's going on in there because it's like full. It's like general. It's like balls. It's like his chest, everything.
He
now
looks
I'm
like a
curious.
child. Is what you're saying?
No. Oh. He trims everything, but then
trims.
also takes care of his balls. Now I'm like curious, like what is his process like?
Right. So you try a lot of different, and just like discovering yourself when you masturbated for the first time. Nobody's telling you how to do this stuff. You're discovering it for yourself. So so you can't shave. So I'm like, okay, maybe electric shaver. You can't get that close, right? So like Manscaping is a company that makes electric. It's more for a trim. And I think it's part of a larger process. So you realize, okay, you're cutting it down, but you still got that little barb.
And that's the worst part. I would say that
painful.
shit's going to hurt.
And I've got wiry
itchy.
Asian hair, right? Like it's like, it's like have you ever touched the guitar string? It's like that. That's what it feels. It must be very painful.
Damn.
And so then you're like, okay, this doesn't work. So the next thing you try is you go to Nair.
I was going to ask if you tried Nair.
So yeah, because it's like
burn.
So my experience, I got the foam because people said that's less painful.
Oh God.
But Nair, the way it works, it is a chemical. You're chemically burning off your follicles. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, make sure you're near water. And so the first time I did it, I put it on there. It's like you got to wait a couple seconds or like maybe like 30 seconds, 45 seconds or whatever so it gets in there. And so I'm like standing there butt naked in the bathroom with like fucking foam around my dick. And I'm like, oh shit. And like you just jumped into the shower and just fucking turned on the water. And I stood there. I'm like, what? I'm like yelling at myself. Like, why the fuck would you do this to yourself? But
because of beauty. Beauty's pain.
it was fucking painful. So I was screaming. Jackie didn't know this until months later, by the way. And
my God.
And I told her, and she's like, "You've done that?" I'm like, "Don't ever use Nair."
Yeah.
I love you too
about,
much.
Like as women, like I think about my own journey with like dealing with hair and body hair and stuff. Like I remember utilizing, doing shaving and then testing out the Nair and just like going through that process. I mean, I'm doing laser hair removal right now, which
sucks. It's not fun.
Yeah, it's not a fun experience.
It's not fun.
But it is amazing to like, shave your leg and then not have to like worry about it for weeks. You know what I mean?
For weeks?
Yeah.
That's all it covers? For weeks?
Oh, she's not done.
I'm not done.
Oh, because it's multiple sessions.
Yeah.
It's like 8 sessions for legs and then like I think 10 plus for anything above for face.
Oh my God.
I think it depends on the person.
Yeah, it depends on the person. But
Depends on
anyways,
everything, but okay.
it's like pretty cool. But anyways, it's like I just think about the pain that we go through as women and going back to your like earlier note of like if women didn't exist in the world, like what would men be? Like how disgusting would they get? I kind of wonder for us, like as women, if men didn't exist in the world, would we still be maintaining ourselves the way that we are?
I genuinely don't maintain myself for men.
It's for yourself.
I maintain myself for myself and for other girls.
I literally was just thinking that too. I was like, we probably would still keep up with appearances because,
Yes.
Is it a status thing, you think?
I think it's because we've been conditioned that as women, our beauty is like something that we should have pride in. And it's something that adds to our value as women, which is such a terrible thing to say, but it's true. Like they've asked you if you're prettier.
That's true.
Hate to say it.
I mean,
but
I have to admit I like prettier people too.
yeah.
I tend to open up more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you're so open with us.
God.
No, but I've actually said that to Mark where I'm like, look, and I think this is maybe one of the reasons why we don't have children. Cause I was just like, look, I just want a pretty kid. And he's like, what about a healthy child? And I'm like, obviously I want a healthy child and all of the above, right? Like, but for me, I'm just like, I just hope that they're pretty. And he's like, why do you care so much? Like, why do you place so much?
Navigating the world. Is
Exactly.
So
and that's what I tell him. I'm like,
I mean, if evolutionarily, if it is survival of the prettiest or most beautiful, then it's probably still permeates in every aspect of our culture.
100%.
maybe my IQ really is that high that I just get it. No, but I said to him, I was just like, imagine as a fucking kid, you go to school, right? Like, you don't want your kid to be bullied. You want your kid to like be able to navigate school. You want your kid to be able to get a job. You want your kid to be able to find a partner if that's what they want. You want your kid to do all these things. And
If you're
life
aesthetic,
is prettier or easier for a pretty person.
100%. I'm 100% positive that like the reason why I've gotten the jobs that I've gotten is because I have a pretty face to a degree. Like, don't get me wrong. I went to Berkeley, graduated 2 degrees. I'm also like, I will say book smart, right? And like pick up on things and have an the brain, if you will. But I do think that something that does push me over the edge is the pretty face. I'm tooting my own horn today, you guys.
I definitely.
But seriously, I honestly, there's so many studies that have proven this time and time again.
Yeah.
Aesthetics make a big difference in the workplace.
Yeah.
I also, I'm not gonna lie, I've definitely exploited being like a young, attractive woman in the workplace.
100%.
Like straight up, I have batted my eyelashes in a room full of male executives, and I don't fucking care. I don't care.
Use it.
Yeah, right. Like you're gonna exploit me anyway.
Yeah, if we're still
I'm gonna do it on my own damn terms.
If we're still being paid 75 cents to the dollar a man is making, then like, yeah, exploit the shit out of what we have.
I don't care. Okay, wait. So sorry. So Nair didn't work. Shaving didn't work. Trimming didn't work.
So.
Oh God, where's this going? Oh God.
So, electrolysis.
I have to say, all those things where you use a third-party service, probably the best way to go about doing all this stuff. But as a guy, I'm not about to just like whip out my dong in front of somebody I don't know. Like, it's terrifying.
But you sleep with, before Jackie, you slept with girls that you maybe didn't know.
But that's like someone you know that's like attracted to you. They want the dick. You have that agreement with them already.
Are you scared that you're going to get hard, for example, during the session?
No,
is that
no,
what
no.
It is?
Oh, actually, I haven't even thought of that.
That's like the first
That would be very embarrassing. Yeah, so think about all the...
I love that that's the thought that like didn't even permeate your brain to begin with.
No, I'm just, I don't know, I feel... It's just being naked in front of someone. It's funny because in high school I used to go streaking and like I didn't give a shit. But now, just as like an adult, I'm like, okay, this random person is going to be zapping my dick. You're already in a very vulnerable situation.
Yeah, I mean, you're like face down, ass up.
Yeah, and ass up.
That's the way I like to fuck.
Yeah, Brazilian.
I don't do my asshole. I wouldn't do my...
Yeah, but we're talking about like how vulnerable it is for us women. And we do it like every once a month kind of thing, like when you do Brazilians. But
yeah, I can't. I verbally just telling you right now, I'm like, I do it. I don't give a shit. Yeah, I'll do it. But like, I'm never going to sign up and make an appointment and do that. And I don't think most guys would, even if they said like, I don't care, I do it. I'm not going to go. I have trouble scheduling my dentist appointment because I'm fucking irresponsible.
What if we give you an emotional support Mark to go with you?
I might do it with Mark, actually, because
he'd hold your hand.
He'd be very good. I think he's be very good as a support person.
Yeah.
And yet, I don't think he would judge me.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
No. Okay. So you think that that's the way to go if you have the balls?
Yeah.
That was the first pun I ever made.
Literally
Literally the first pun I've ever made in my entire life, and I don't even know if it was a pun, but we're going to say that it was. So where did we land? This is important.
This is very important. So every month or so, and I just did this past week.
Nice.
Is I sit down, I turn on the TV, I put a little hanky next to me, and I bring my tweezers, and I pluck the shit out of that.
How long does this process fucking take?
It can take anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. But it's important to state that before you do it, you have to trim it down.
Okay. Yeah,
and the first time you do it, it is fucking painful. It is so painful. I mean, you guys know how many nerves you got down there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think... your guys are probably used to plucking all kinds of things.
Areas,
but for guys, it's like, we don't have that pain tolerance.
That's
your eyes are watering as you're doing this shit.
So it's through our like need to strive for beauty that we've built a tolerance to pain. But men, because it isn't something that you all like
I think
seek,
it's also because we give birth.
Yeah, I mean, there's also that too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and it's our like precioso area, you know.
It's your pride and joy.
I mean,
Yeah.
we also like when I go get Brazilians and they do it to get the ingrown hairs. They
That's
like
right.
go in and they will pluck whatever is
I have
left over.
never plucked a pubic hair in my life.
Really
I also said I literally did
laser hair.
laser when I was like
Yeah.
16.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
So
don't
you're
think
used to it.
I don't think I would want to do laser on my coochie, honestly. Because here's the thing, trends. I'm hearing that the semi bush is coming back.
I don't
It is
give a
coming back
fuck.
for sure.
Guys,
See?
I don't give a shit. I'm a millennial. I'm in my 30s. I'm keeping my skinny jeans. I'm keeping my fucking side. I don't have a side part, but if I did, I would keep it. And I'm going to keep, well, it's literally not an option for me. But regardless, I don't care. I have no interest in trends. Like, pubes are itchy. They're, no. I don't
But
give
you
a fuck.
see,
Gen
we have
Zers
to-
come for me, bitch.
See, we have to worry about this type of stuff. But like once again, if women weren't a thing in the world, would you even bother?
No, absolutely not.
Well, but he does it not just for like aesthetics. He does it for
I think it looks
for-
weird aesthetically
without.
when I finish my cleaning,
plucking?
My plucking, yeah. I
Why?
think it looks
'Cause
really
it's
weird.
just
Does it
like
make
a
your
hole-
dick
like
look bigger?
It does make your dick a lot bigger.
See, so why I would
But
be
that's for
all
me
about
because
that.
I've got so much bush, so it's like oh my god, hello, you know, and but
It's like there's that extra inch or two.
yeah. So it's the weird part is that I don't fade it into all the other hair, right? It's just like hair, and then it's like
Bold.
yeah. So I don't spend the time to make it look beautiful because I got a lot of like tummy hair too up here, upper what you call it,
We're
fupa.
not-
So it's literally just like a circle
Your fupa.
around your dick, and then the rest of it is like bush. Like, got it. Okay, cool.
You know,
Okay, now I understand.
because
Why
then
you're
I
saying
would have
it's
to
kind of
go and do all like you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to you know
That's
everywhere
pretty
else.
fucking funny if you think about it. It's just like literally just like this circle
Target,
around
yeah.
his dick.
Is it a circle?
It's not a circle. I mean, it's less because a circle would imply that I actually aesthetically made it into a circle. It's actually more
You're
nebulous
like
than
bare
that.
minimum, basically.
Yeah, because it takes a lot of time just to get to where
You
I
need to
get
be.
it. Yeah. It's more utilitarian than anything.
Got it. But this all goes out the fucking window, though, if women didn't exist.
I think so too.
Okay.
Because it really has to. When I picture all those women that were like didn't say anything, and I had barbed cat penis. Should we explain what cat penis means?
Yeah. So for our
Oh, good. You're
viewers,
catching on to the context. I'm really
our
bad at that.
listeners, male cats have barbed penises, and it's really to like anchor into the vagina of the female cat, but also to rip their shit up when they're exiting, so that nobody else or no other cat can actually go in and impregnate the cat that they were with.
And
So,
they're
yeah.
not the only species that does that. I think sharks have that as well.
Oh, I didn't know that sharks have that. That's
Don't
interesting.
ducks have that, or they just have curly penises?
They do
They're
have
curly.
curly penises because they're also little rapists, sexual assaulters.
Which
over
is
there.
it's also unique as birds because most of them have cloacas. Do you remember we talked about
Cloacas.
No, it's a cloaca. I don't remember.
that? Cloacas are holes. They just have a hole and they touch it and then that's done. Sperm and boop. Yeah.
How many species out there actually have sex due to pleasure? I think monkeys,
Dolphins
so basically all species
Apes.
of apes,
Yeah.
yeah,
and dolphins.
And dolphins.
and dolphins. But like, I wonder percentage-wise what that looks like around the world. Because when you talk about cloacas, I'm like, clearly that's just for reproductive purposes. How many of them have evolved to enjoy it?
Is rape in the area of pleasure? Would that be constituted? Because I know otters rape other otters.
Yeah, that's really fucking sad.
Okay.
They're so
Not to
cute.
reproduce.
They're so
Yeah.
cute, but they are like when you, some of these mammals and other animals are so adorable, but then you hear about like how they actually have
They're messed
intercourse.
up, yeah.
Like it's so fucked up.
Okay, I think we're gonna have to bring this back to grooming ourselves because
I think
even I
so
can't
let's-
handle that shit at this time.
I think we should like end it maybe with like the question of like who do we think actually puts in more effort overall? Do we think it's male grooming or do we think female grooming?
I would assume women.
Yeah, okay.
I'm only doing this out of necessity, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like if we were on the Maslow's hierarchy, right?
hierarchy of needs,
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm much lower than what most women do. I think women do it for like there's an existential aspect to it. For me, I'm just like I don't want to hurt the person I'm fucking, right? Like
Oh, that's
I know.
sweet.
Gosh, how do you make this sound like
So romantic.
So nice. I'm
I
like,
think you're
what?
the only people that
So romantic.
No, I think that that's really nice that you put yourself through pain.
Yeah.
To do that.
Isn't that what women do though?
That
A
is
lot?
true.
But by
I
our
think we're
terms,
so
not for
used to
men.
it. But we're so used to it though, and we do it for like base level shit, right? Like I do it because I'm going through laser hair removal right now because it's so fucking inconvenient to have to like shave all the time and then like get pebbles like the next day, you know,
Yeah,
the pebbly
yeah.
skin. Hate that shit. I'm doing it out of convenience. So I'm going through all of this pain due to make my life more convenient, for
I
example.
see.
I did it for convenience, but I also do it because I'm vain.
Vanity. That's a great
Would
point.
vanity exist though if males weren't here and the male gaze wasn't a thing on this planet anymore?
I literally, maybe it's because I've been married for 100,000 years. I genuinely don't do
And
it
then-
for men.
Hold on, but then also wouldn't the ideal of beauty then shift? Because beauty is subjective, and I think much of our beauty standards are due to the male gaze in current society.
I think much of
How much would it change
Oh,
once
you're
all
saying-
men are gone?
You're saying gaze as in Gaze.
Yeah.
I was like, what do the gays have to do with this?
no. Wait, hold on. I have something to say about this. No, I think that societal beauty standards are directly correlated to whatever the Kardashians are doing. They got
That's
BBLs.
true.
Everybody had a big ass.
all of a
Now
sudden, my
everybody
ass was in
contours.
fashion. I was like, oh,
But
God.
But they're taking their BBLs now. They're taking them out,
Yeah.
They're BBL?
Brazilian butt lift.
but implants effectively.
It's basically
And now
just taking
suddenly,
fat and putting it in
smaller
their
butts are back in play. Like literally, it's whatever they are doing. So I genuinely feel like, and I don't even know if 9 out of 10 men
But,
would
like-
find that as like the ultimate standard of beauty.
But the thing is
women
it's
have
still
created
part
that.
of the male gaze, though. Like the reason why they have the physiques that they have is because of the male gaze over the ages, right? And that's why like their look also keeps evolving to a degree. Or also maybe they could be setting the standard then.
I think
and
that they're
that's
setting
how,
the
like, the male
standard.
gaze like develops. Who knows? But media definitely does have a big effect on
Yeah.
what the male gaze ends up being. But what I'm saying is like if no men existed, what would be the beauty standard now for us in society?
Oh, I think
for women.
skinny.
Really? I think if we could eat without having to worry about like what we look like body wise because we're not trying to attract a male.
But that's not what you're saying. That doesn't mean that that would be the standard for beauty. I think the standard for beauty, women want to be, generally speaking, we want to eat
thinness
without
isn't a-
having to worry about gaining
yeah.
weight, right? So we all aspire to some degree to have like,
But that's also subjective because like for example in Africa in Egypt, like they love their women thicker.
no, I know, but I'm talking about women. No girl, I mean, not no, I shouldn't say that, but generally speaking, I think women would love, you just said it, I would love to eat what I wanted without having to worry about gaining weight.
No, I said without having to worry about getting a man. So like I could be fat and I wouldn't
sorry.
give a shit. You know
Oh.
what I mean? I feel like the only reason why throughout my life, for example, that I always cared about my weight was because of the male gaze. Like I'm not attractive because I'm this weight.
Oh,
And it wasn't until society kind of shifted with like J-Lo and the Kardashians where curves came in and asses came in. And I was like, oh, like now I feel more empowered kind of thing. So my thing is like the male gaze has set a certain standard of beauty. What would that standard be once all men are gone off the face of the
Do you
planet?
think it's men or is it media and like
But then like
fashion
who is
magazines and lifestyle magazines?
But
and-
then, like, where are they getting that sense of beauty or that like outline of what beauty
So
is?
this is kind of like the chicken and the egg kind of thing. And I just had this conversation about Asians in films and media.
Yeah.
There was like this whole argument for years, like, oh, we don't want to put Asian leads because people don't want to watch a movie that has Asian leads. Well, people don't want to watch Asian leads because
they're not used to it.
they're not used to it. Yeah, so there's like a chicken and the egg thing. I think it's really hard to answer that question.
Yeah.
And so maybe all you could say is definitively, like you can agree with, is like it's part of the zeitgeist. Mm-hmm. Like that's ingrained in us. And so and maybe is it a fad or is it something that's here to stay? I think that's changing though. What all that stuff in terms of women and what
I agree.
it should be,
I agree.
or it's going to split off like everything
Oh
else
my
does.
God.
What do you mean?
Everything splits off nowadays into
Yeah, and
two
into two groups.
Yeah.
Like everything becomes polarized, where it's like one extreme versus another extreme. There's no gray anymore, or like people are straying away from more gray.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
I don't know. I'm just thinking, I guess I'm just like, I don't really fit into either category. Like I'm not curvy, but I'm also not model thin.
But
So I feel like I've had to learn to live with like whatever I feel comfortable being. Because
But I think that's the thing is like we're evolving as a society where like I think people who, and especially now that we're older too, and we recognize a lot of these like power structures.
I don't give a fuck about what the Gen Z say.
Exactly.
Give me my skinny jeans. Is that what you
Exactly.
mean?
There's just a layer of like being comfortable with yourself and recognizing that there's a lot of gray, especially when it comes
so
to
old.
subjectivity of beauty.
I'm so
LOL.
old that I'm that person who's like, I don't care.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
You're talking to someone who wants to go live off in a fucking island to get away from everyone. So
See my idea.
I agree with all of this wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I've actually loved this conversation. Thank you so much, Josh, for coming to talk to us about, male grooming. I think you're an extreme case,
I think so too.
but it's actually kind of fascinating to see that like there are people, well, men in particular, who really do the work, the maintenance and self-care work.
Yeah.
Jackie's a lucky girl.
She really is.
I have regrets that I agreed to do this topic a little bit.
Why?
Because like I have other things that I've got this professional life, and then I'm just like talking about plucking my dick. Like that's, it's like what have I reduced myself to? No, it's actually really fun. It's very
We'll bring you on for another professional thing. Hey, I opened it up to you. I was like, what would you like to discuss? And you
Or
were like,
what's at the
anything.
table?
Yeah.
And I was just like, cat dick, cat dick, cat dick.
Yeah, that's we can all thank Alina for the topic of cat dick. On that note, thank you so much, Josh, for coming.
it was my pleasure.
you.
Yeah.
And we'll see
We'll see you next week.